Hey everybody, we're just 8 days from the election now, and unfortunately, the widespread Democratic panic is continuing. They're trying to capitalize on Trump, claiming Trump is a fascist and that he is racist and that he's homophobic, and they're really criticizing him a ton, but it doesn't seem to be helping them at the polls at all. Look at this. Donald Trump leading by 0.2% in the Real Clear Politics polling averages. If we go back to 2016, this is the day the James Comey letter came out. Hillary was up by 4.6. If we go to 2020, Biden up by 7.5. So yeah, the polls are not looking good. There hasn't been really, there was a Rasmussen. Rasmussen isn't typically accurate, but you see all these ties. CNN tied, New York Times tied, Emerson tied, CBS tied, Rasmussen tied. They're all tied, and it's not looking good for Kamala Harris. We go back to the swing states. Pennsylvania, the most critical swing state. That insider advantage poll did not look good. Neither did the Emerson one. I understand the panic. It is getting even more widespread. And for Democrats watching, the best thing you can do is go out and vote for Kamala Harris if you care that much about it. Obviously, in North Carolina, Clinton was leading by 3, Biden by 0.7. They both lost the state. Trump by 0.8. I'm just going to make the prediction right now. We're going to say that North Carolina is going for Donald Trump. I think that the Democrats was a bad decision to spend all that time and money in North Carolina because ultimately it is a conservative state, and for the past 2 election cycles they've done the same thing and they failed both times. All right, on to Georgia. Not looking good. Up by 2. Trafalgar isn't that great. But then we go to Marist. We go to Bloomberg. It's all Trump leading. There was that Quinnipiac that had Trump up by a ton, 6. I think Trump is taking Georgia too. Another embarrassing loss. Go to Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is still close, but in the last polls, Trump looks like he's favored, especially compared with the massive leads that Biden and Clinton had here in 2016 and 2020, respectively. I think this could be the first time. This is the first and only time Trump has been leading in Wisconsin. And in many of these swing states, like Michigan too, this is the first time he's favored at all in these states, or tied even, or it's even within a couple of points. Arizona 2, Trump 1.5. Hillary was leading in 2016 by 1.5. She still lost the state. Something that everybody should understand is that when Trump is leading in a state, he wins a large amount of the time. But when in previous years, in 2020 and 2016, when Biden and Clinton were leading in these states, that did not necessarily mean they were going to win. And a lot of times the polls overestimated their support, especially against Trump, and polls have seemed to always underestimate Donald Trump's support. Yeah, we go to Minnesota. Minnesota could be enormously close. That's something to watch for Kamala, because that's a troubling sign that she will do worse than Biden in Minnesota. She will do worse than Clinton in Minnesota, and that Trump actually has a shot at winning the state, even though he's probably not. Same thing for New Hampshire and Virginia. Yeah, but then, yeah, if we go into Texas, which is kind of like this, Trump has a much firmer advantage. I think what we're going to see is Kamala is going to underperform in blue states and likely underperform in swing states. I think that her clearest pathway right now is going to be winning those 3 blue wall states. Maybe she'll win Nevada, but I think Arizona and Georgia and North Carolina are not looking good at all. Nevada's not looking great either. Pennsylvania is looking very iffy. When Trump is leading in a state, you have to understand he wins almost all of the time. I don't think of a single example in 2016 or 2020 of Donald Trump leading in a state but losing it, potentially in Georgia in 2020. Yeah, Georgia in 2020, it was a tie, and Biden still won by 11,780 votes. But yeah, it's not looking good for Kamala. I think if you're a Democrat and you want Kamala to win, go and vote, especially if you're in a swing state. You really have to go and vote. Also, even if you're in any state, a red state or a blue state, you really should go out and vote for your candidate because Kamala, as I said earlier, Kamala is in a struggle to win the popular vote. Look, Donald Trump leading in the Real Clear Politics polling average. The first time since Kamala came into the race that Trump is leading. So if you don't want another Trump presidency, go and vote for Kamala. Please, even if you support Trump, go and vote for Trump because this is going to be a very, very close election. And the important thing to do is just vote. That's the only way you help your candidate. Complaining and worrying is not going to help. This is going to come down to the wire, folks. It's going to be very exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. I'm looking forward to it. See you soon for another election update. Have a great rest of your evening, and goodbye.